Hey guys, Greg Christensen, Granby Livestock here. Well, we weaned a bunch of lambs. We still got one other group to wean, and we weaned one group of the kids. The other group's got plenty of forage where they're at, so we'll leave them. Turn them out here. Well, this is where we had the feeder set up last year, and we came in here. Oh, it was back in June, I'd say. No, maybe July. We drilled dwarf sorghum sedan, these sunflowers. I think there was some cowpeas. There's a cowpea. I even think there was some okra in that mix. But we didn't do real good. See this little spot here? It's got there's spots around here. And so what happened was we had too much competition for it. I was going to come in here and spray and kill a lot of this other stuff. But then it rained and stuff, all that stuff started coming up. But then there's too much competition and it just drowned it out. I should have just sprayed it, I guess, at the time. Maybe just start over, or it probably wasn't all up. But now we have ragweed out here, which is decent feed for them here for a while. It starts going to seed. It's not as desirable. Well, just like most plants, as soon as they start the reproductive phase, going to seed, they're not near as nutritious and palatable. So that spot there is a place we fed hay last year, and there wasn't as much competition and there was more moisture. And so it came up there, and a little of it here. And then over here, as you can see, other spots of it. But it should be that solid all throughout the field. But there's just not any there. See, it just died. And there's foxtail there, which it's already gone to seed. They won't really eat much of that. It's not all that nutritious right now. There's barnyard grass right there. There's a pigweed there. Now they'll like that. They'll eat that pigweed down. Some lamb's quarter. So it's been really dry here, and I guess we're just glad we got what we got, even if it's weeds and we spent the money and planted the seed. But like I said, well, that's farming, isn't it? Yep. But big old sunflower doing its thing. It's not turning the right direction because you can see the sun right up there. It'll be facing the other way, but you know, it'll be right, I guess, in the morning. Well, it was a good plan we had to have all this. If that would have been that thick all over this field, that would have been really good. But, well, that's how it goes. Our corn crop didn't do very good. It's been so dry, and our soybeans are really hurting right now. Maybe we'll get some rain this weekend. Yeah, there's some cockleburs, and they're pretty high nutrition. They're trying to put a flower on, but they'll still like those, even if they start flowering now. They'll probably still eat those down. Lamb's quarter's gotten pretty good size. The giant ragweed, and they like that. Now I'm clear at the other end of the pasture, And we really didn't unroll as much hay down at this end. The feeders were up the other end, and we kind of wanted to keep them close to the feeders. Well, you can tell it because there's just, there's none of the Sudan grass or the cow peas, anything that we planted down here. And this is probably the drier soil of the farm. I mean, you can see even these weeds are stressing. Even looks like the ragweed's having some stress. That one's pretty droopy. But we're glad we got what we got here, because they're down here eating it. And so we had originally planned on having these weeds and what we planted, but didn't work out that way. So we haven't had anything on this field since, well, they kidded out on here. Some of these would have been on here when they were lambs and kids. You see across the fence there's where we had one of the groups there for a little while, and another group a little while before that. And that fescue's really dry. But look at this side that hadn't been grazed. It's kind of a nice time of the evening. You can come out here and just watch and see what they're eating. Looks like they're eating some of that foxtail. I'm not sure if they're eating the foxtail or the weeds that's in the foxtail. Yeah, I think they're eating some of that. That's giant foxtail. The other smaller foxtail is yellow foxtail. The yellow foxtail is a little more mature now than this giant foxtail is. And here towards dark, they'll head back up and bed down in what we call it, the loafing shed up there. That shed up there, well to your right. And then you see another silver, little smaller buildings, our working facility, and then the bigger yellow buildings, our shop. You can barely see, we have another barn there, and then on over there to the left is a machine shed. Well, I'm glad to see him eating this foxtail. Hate to see it go to waste. Look at that guy eating it. It's been kind of a rough summer here. Just been so dry. Rain would start coming this way and then just dissipate. And maybe we'd get a couple of tenths or so. I think we had a ½ inch, maybe a week or 10 days ago. But when it's 90 or 100 degrees, you don't even know you got a rain. Now if you look down in here, there's some red clover that's going to seed. This right here. And so hopefully that'll fall, or it'll reseed itself and come up. This will probably come up next spring. It could come up this fall if we got enough rain, but I doubt if it will. Well, guys, Hope it's raining where you're at, or you've had enough moisture and you have good pasture and everything's working out well for you. Have a good evening.